Hey, welcome to Christian Music Tutorials. If you're just starting out playing the guitar, or even if you've been playing for a while, you could possibly be making a couple of these mistakes, and any one of them can really hinder the progress that you make. When I first started playing, I made all of these mistakes, but identifying and avoiding them early on would have really helped me in the long run, and I just want to help you do the same. So let's get into it. So mistake number one is going to be something I'm sure most of us have done, and that's not playing to a metronome. Now, to anybody who doesn't know, a metronome is simply a time-keeping tool that you play alongside to. It sounds like this. So if you play along with something like that, it's going to help you to develop two skills in particular. One, it'll help you to maintain a steady strumming rhythm. And two, it'll help you to establish the correct timing when it comes to changing chords. Let me show you. Now, when I first started playing, it was both distracting and annoying to play along with a metronome. But I found out after the fact that the reason why it was distracting and the reason why it was annoying is because I had bad timing. And the situation that caused me to realize I had bad timing came when I got invited to play a couple of songs in a church service for the very first time. Now, a long story short, I practiced the songs that I was going to play, I learned the lyrics and the chords, but when I stood up to play, my offbeat timing threw off the drums and the bass, and then them not hitting the right beat for me was throwing me off, and we just ended up snowballing to where I just basically butchered the song, and I'm pretty sure I had to start them a couple of times. But I realized after the fact that a metronome would have really helped me to remedy that issue early on. So I would encourage you not to shy away from a metronome, playing alongside with one. If you haven't started playing with one already, there's links down in the description to download them from the Android and the Apple Play stores. I've also included an Amazon link there where you can purchase a mechanical metronome if you like, but the downloaded one on your phone is going to work just fine. Start trying them today. It's going to help you in the long run. So moving on, mistake number two is going to be something that I haven't really heard mentioned a lot, and that's practicing or playing only in a sitting down position. Now, why would that be an issue? If you decide to put on a guitar strap and stand up and play, three things are going to happen. One, it's going to change the position of your fingers on the fretboard. Two, it's going to change your hand position on the neck. And three, it's going to change the position of your strumming hand. Now, with those three things combined with the action of standing up and playing, it's going to almost feel like you're having to relearn to play those chords over, to strum the strings. It's going to feel like you're relearning all that over again. So just save yourself the hassle. Try practicing standing up a little bit and then sitting back down. That transition from standing to sitting is going to make playing sitting down feel a whole lot easier. Practicing standing up is going to really help you to develop a flexibility in your hands and your positions on the fretboard, which just adds to your ability in playing altogether. So give it a try, practice standing up, and let me know what you think. So mistake number three is not so much a mistake as it is a learning tip, and that's only ever practicing on an acoustic guitar. So if you're just starting out and you're learning your chord positions, try practicing them on an electric guitar a little bit. An electric guitar has much thinner strings on it than an acoustic, and it also has a much thinner neck and a smaller fretboard than an acoustic guitar does. And what that's going to do is going to ease your playing on this hand when it comes to pushing down on the strings on the frets and positioning your hand on the neck, because I know I struggled with cramping in my hand and destruction of my fingertips, which is a good thing because it adds again to that flexibility of playing. But for ease of playing, practicing on an electric guitar is going to be a little bit easier on your hands. And who knows, it might grow on you. You might decide that you like playing the lead guitar and it might become your main instrument. For me, that's exactly what I did. I started out playing in an acoustic guitar, and then when I switched to electric, I liked it so much that it became my main instrument. So don't be afraid to give it a try. But of course, if an acoustic guitar is all you have, there's absolutely nothing wrong with learning and practicing with the instrument that you have. So real quick, if you're enjoying this video, hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing to my channel to receive notifications on future videos that I do put out. Let's move on. So the last two mistakes on this list are really going to be the bulk of why I wanted to make this video in the first place. If I would have identified these early on, like I said, it would have really helped me in the long run. I would much rather have learned these in the beginning of my playing than at the end. They would have really helped me progress a lot faster and get into a field of playing that I would have rather have done way early on than later. So let's get into those last two valuable things that I have discovered in my journey in learning how to play the guitar. So mistake number 4 is going to be one that I learned a little bit too late, but it's not learning your chord families. So what are chord families? Now, without getting too technical, I can't exhaust the information on this topic. There are other videos out there that can do that, but I'm just going to share with you the most basic understanding that I have of chord families. If you're learning how to play a song in the key of G, typically the next chords that are going to come in that song are going to be either C or D, right? And that's what you'd call a chord family. Now, if you're playing a song in the key of E, the next two chords that are going to come in that song are typically going to be A and B. And that's what a chord family is. Now, if you try and cross those two families together, if you try to take a G chord and play it in the family of E, it's going to sound really weird. It'll sound like this. See, it just doesn't sound correct. Now, I understand that in music it's really subjective and music is really artistic freedom in for the most part. So this is just a guide to help you along in your playing. Memorize these chord families, these basic chord families. Now, I'm just going to include a chart right here that shows you the most basic of chord families. With the key of A, it's going to be D and E, more typically. With the key of B, it's got its own family, with the key of C, and so on. So if you just want to pause the video and you want to take a copy or write those down, memorize those chord families. So when you do, they are going to help you in two ways. One, they're going to help you learning new songs. They're going to help you to identify which chords come along in the new songs that you decide you want to learn. And two, they're going to help you when you go to attach yourself once again into a live band situation where you're playing with drums, bass, other guitarists. Like if you've ever heard somebody say, "Key of D, please." The reason why they say that is because the other band members understand the concept of chord families. So when he says, "Play in the key of D," they know that the next chords coming up are either going to be A or G. And it's just going to help them to follow along with that leader in what he's playing. So learn those chord families. Once again, they are going to help you take your guitar playing to the next level. Okay, so let's move on. So the fifth and final mistake that I find most common in beginner guitar players is neglecting to learn the minors for each chord they're learning. So this attaches itself right in with the previous topic that with chord families, there is a minor that is attached to every chord. So with G, it's going to be E minor. With C, it's going to be A minor, and so on. So up here again is another list that shows you a basic diagram layout of what minors are attached to each chord. So learn those minor chords. They are going to do the same thing as learning and identifying and memorizing chord families. They're going to help you to learning the songs that you want to learn and what chords are in those songs. And they are also going to help you, the same as before, attach yourself into live band situations and learning how to play the keys that they're playing. So learn those minor chords as well. They are really going to help you again to take your guitar playing to the next level and make it a lot more enjoyable for you to play. And they are really going to help you advance your playing and in your skill level. So the quick bonus tip that I wanted to share is to anyone who's just beginning playing guitar. If you haven't already, try using a capo. What a capo will do is it'll take the string bridge and it'll allow you to move it down the fretboard some. So when you put that on there, now you have a key that's played higher than the original. So if you're playing a song in the key of G and you're singing along and you're practicing and you just feel like you're singing in the basement, just put a capo on there, bring that bridge lower, and now you're able to sing that song higher with the luxury of not having to switch chord positions, like if you were to transpose the key into a higher chord. So yeah, that's what I use a capo for. Use that guy. It'll really assist you into learning how to sing certain songs, learning how to find your vocal range. It'll allow you to mess around with the chords along the fretboard here, bringing them down and up, and it'll just help you to find that comfortable singing range of the song that you're playing in in or the song that you're practicing in. So try it out. It's a good little tool to use. So that's it. Thanks for visiting with me today. I really hope this video helped you in some way to identify and avoid some potential mistakes that you could be making in your guitar playing journey, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless.